Welcome to another episode, Uniting the Cults. This is the series, Why is Everybody Stupid? The post I'm looking at today is, Are you struggling with the leftover indoctrination from your parents and your society? Do you have any of the following symptoms? Do you fear hell? Do you have thoughts of what if Islam is true? Do you feel guilty for doing things that you intellectually believe to be okay, like having a boyfriend or a girlfriend? Do you feel dread at the thought of not existing after your death? Do you feel dread at the thought of this life not having meaning? Do you believe that we each have a soul that survives the death of our bodies? Do you believe in demons, demon possessions, exorcists, curses like the evil eye, and other superstitions like uh, black cat gives you bad luck, walking under a ladder gives you bad luck? If you answer yes to any of these questions, comment below and we'll try to help. This person says they got over everything. That's good to hear. This person says yes. Sex and relationships. I didn't see this post before, or maybe I did. Yeah, I did. I should have replied to this before. Would you like to talk about it? If you want, let's do it over DM. I'm guessing they might be embarrassed about this, so they don't want to talk about it publicly. So I'll give them the option to do it privately. We said 4 and 5 seem normal. That was one of them was something like you're worried about what happens after death. This is good. People helping out with various problems that I described in the OP. They're saying they had these problems before, now they don't. Studying history helped them get rid of all this. So this person said that they still believe in some superstitions. And I asked why, and they didn't reply. They still have trouble with 4 and 5. That was related to what happens after death, I think. And I tried to ask some questions, but they didn't reply. So they said they had these problems, but I couldn't tell if they wanted help. So I figured I'd ask, do you want help? And they said, yep, they want help. Um, there are people who learn about some obscure philosophy idea like solipsism. Solipsism is the idea, and there's multiple versions, but one of them is it's the idea that I can't be sure of anything except for that I exist. And a lot of people take this to mean that we can't be sure that other people exist, which is like saying maybe I'm the only one that exists and everyone else on the planet is a figment of my imagination. And there are people who when they're presented with this idea and I guess they don't know how to argue against it, they end up having anxiety attacks about it. So when they think, what if solipsism is true? And then they get an anxiety attack. This is the same thing that's happening to Muslims. They think, what if Islam is true? And then they get scared. And the thing is, solipsism is very much unlike Islam in the sense that no one's trying to get you to believe it. The person who came up with this is dead. No one else gives a shit about it. It doesn't have a concept of hell to try to scare you over not believing it. But people are getting scared shitless about it anyway. I think it would help people who who think things like, what if Islam is true, and get scared. I think it would help them if they understood this other phenomenon that people are experiencing. And the other thing I want people to think about, if questions like what if Islam is true makes you scared, you should think of the form of that question and how it applies in other situations. So I came up with, suppose a physicist thinks, what if the earth is flat? What do you think happens after that thought? The physicist will try to find flaws with the idea that the earth is flat. They will try to find some phenomenon that they know exists and which contradicts the idea that the earth is flat, but which does not contradict their own idea that the earth is round. And once they find a single contradiction, they stop. They've concluded that the earth is not flat, and they stop thinking, what if the earth is flat? They don't revisit this question for no good reason. There would have to be new information for the physicist to think that there's a good reason to rethink this idea on the shape of the earth. Now reflect on your own thinking. Are you thinking like the physicist? What do you do after you think, what if Islam is true? I get that you fear hell at this point, but do you do what the physicist does? Do you try to refute the idea that Islam is true by finding a single flaw, a single contradiction? And somebody replied to this by saying, I do think it's extremely unlikely that Islam is true, but at the end of the day, it's unfalsifiable. You can't exactly disprove anything religious with observable evidence the way you can with a flat earth. Any piece of writing that seems to contradict itself or a fact of the universe could just be misunderstood or reinterpreted into something else. So, my reply to this, that's not how physicists think about things. Unfalsifiable claims are rejected for being unfalsifiable. That's the logic that physicists use to reject myths, superstitions, like the soul, curses, demons, walking under a ladder that gives you bad luck, etc. The basic process is the same for physics as it is for religion. It's a matter of finding contradictions. Does any of this help you change your perspective on things? And I have some more, and they didn't reply. I think this is what we just went through. Let's see if that went anywhere. So that's it for this video.